So what we've given you in your groups right now is a scenario. And these are scenarios that Kim and I pulled from our experiences in adult basic education. What we would like you to do is to discuss with your colleagues, how would you support this student to persist in their goals?
About calling dad, that's an awesome idea.
In this case where the father is still alive.
Right.
What would you do if the father had died?
I would tell them,
We're talking in this kind of scenario, first starting with the boss and then babysitter.
So what are the other kinds of issues if you change your shift? You might have to drop out of class, might have difficulty finding childcare.
Thank you.
Buses don't run when you get off.
Challenging situations. We don't know what the outcome of this court case is going to be, so if they have to
Buddy system,
Put that on
Group, are you ready? Are you prepared? Your babysitter hasn't shown up. You and your peers are scheduled to give a group presentation in class.
For this lady or man, when we see them next time, is to possibly share a babysitter. You know, sometimes there are going to be those issues, and it's okay. But as long as our students call us prior to class, it's going to be okay. And that calling us prior to class is a life skill. It's something that you'll do for a job. If you don't show up to a job, you're going to call. If you're going to be late to class, you're going to call. And that's all I ask personally of my students, because we are going to have bad days. And us as teachers, we also have bad days as well. So guess what? Call me. Call me prior to the presentation, and then guess what? I'll problem solve the rest of the rest of the remaining 3 group parties, and they can work together to do this presentation, and that's peer support.
Ours was, you have a scheduling conflict with your job, your boss just changed your shift from days to nights. So we were trying to look at it from both sides, okay? The student's afraid they're going to have to drop out of class, they can't keep the same class schedule, and they can't afford to lose their job. That's a priority, they have to feed their family. So we try and come up with options as teachers, you know. Can you change your class format? Can you go, is there a class available during the day that mirrors the kind of class you felt comfortable in at night? Can you do distance learning, or what are some of your other options? Starting out at the beginning in orientation and talking about this stuff at the beginning opens it up for them to start a dialogue with one another and kind of foster this feeling of ownership and caring about the other classmates, so that maybe they can network, maybe they can carpool, maybe they can figure out a way to babysit, you know. So we're trying to get them to network out into the community a little bit more, not just in the class, but who can they talk to there, or maybe a resource book of things and options available in the community that the teacher can share with students and let them have access to it so they can go into it anytime they feel the need. And then just having problem-solving discussions, maybe participatory learning or group activities that they can share ideas and expand their horizon of opportunities. And then we got very excited and we got down to a whole curriculum based on student needs and goals that maybe you can design for your class when you first start out.
Yes, beautiful.
Our scenario is, you know that you are going to be in court in 2 weeks for 2 days.
it seems like there's 2 issues here. One is you're going to miss class for a couple days, and another is you're going to court. I mean, there might be some fear, some worry, who knows what going to court is about. So we were saying students could support each other through encouragement, encouraging each other to come back to class, try to keep your eye on your bigger goal, offering to share notes with the student. If you're going to court, you might feel like you don't have a lot of control over the situation, but what are some things that you can do? And also, what are some options for trying to keep up with your work in class, too? How the teacher can support the student if the student comes to the teacher with this information. Being flexible, sorry to hear that, trying to help the student keep up with the work, talk to them about what they can do, how they can come back to the class. So having activities that get students talking about, for me, positive things. I like students to talk about family, home, work, things that they like to share with each other, things about culture, language, whatever, so that they're building friendships in the first couple of weeks, so that when that day comes when they have to go to court, or one of these other problems, and they need somebody to lean on to have some friends there that they can talk to. So encouraging sharing in your classroom as a teacher, encouraging students to share with each other.
Your car is broken down, you went out to it and it won't start. Today's the day you're scheduled to post test.
So some of the things that we talked about in our group is calling the program for a ride or to reschedule the post-testing, create beforehand and develop a buddy system to share phone numbers and share information. And living in rural areas, families live distance apart. There's sometimes they don't have phones, it's amazing, but in some of our areas, some people don't have phones. No public transportation, there's no taxi, bus, or anything like that. So those are some of the obstacles and challenges that we're faced with daily. And some of the things that we've done in our program, especially if students are late, we know something is wrong. So we send out a staff, okay, go out there, find out what's going on. So we have a liaison, take the vehicle, go out, make a home visit, see what's going on, why is the student not here, they're supposed to be here. So we send someone out there to go check on them.
Our scenario is a family crisis has arisen, your dad is in the hospital in stable condition. You are scheduled to take your GED on Friday.
And since our group was all from corrections, it was something we experience all the time. It was a very common scenario that someone's locked up and some awful thing is happening on the outside just before their GED does. One way for this inmate to do this is to suggest that they go to their caseworker and get a call to their father, who is supposed to be in stable condition, and discuss with him what would be the appropriate thing to do that GED. Because the father, more than likely, is going to be saying, get in there, do it, do it for me, I'm going to feel fine, I'm going to be better after I hear that you've made it. That's generally what the family support would do. And then another way to handle it is to say to the inmate, what do you want to do? So the empowering their decision making is really, really a powerful thing on the outside, and to lean on whatever support remains is a really powerful thing when we're on the inside. So, thank you.